Welcome to our new video. In this, let's have a look into some questions from Social Science textbook of Standard 10 of Kerala State. Question number 1. Kuruchia Rebellion was a resistance by the tribes against the British exploitation. What were the circumstances that led to the Kuruchia Rebellion? Kuruchians of Wayanad were tribals who resisted the British policies, and the struggles of Kuruchia community of Wayanad against the British revenue system are a really memorable incident in the freedom struggle. The forest land was considered as a commonwealth and tribals wholly depended on it for their livelihood. The taxes imposed by the British were too heavy for them to bear. They used to pay tax in kind, but now British insisted that the tax should be paid in cash. This caused many difficulties to them. They had no money with them. The revenue officials started extracting the tax by confiscating the tribal properties. The British officials denied freedom to tribal people and they were treated as slaves. Kuruchia Revolt was another tribal insurgency against the British. It was organized by the Kuruchia and the Kurumba tribes of Wayanad in 1812. Let's examine the reasons of this revolt. First one, the imposition of excessive tax. Then, compulsion for paying tax in cash. Next, seizing of agricultural land for non-payment of tax. Question number 2. Evaluate the role of drain theory by Dadabhai Nauroji in stimulating national feeling among Indian masses. Dadabhai Nauroji. He was the president of International Congress in the years from 1886 to 87, 1893 to 94, 1906 to 1907. He is known as the Grand Old Man of India and unofficial ambassador of India. Nauroji's work focused on the drain of wealth from India to Britain during the period of British rule in India. So the economic exploitation of British created an anti-British feeling among different sections of people. And this attitude was a major factor that led to the emergence of Indian nationalism in the 19th century. And the earlier leaders of Congress were much conscious of the economic exploitation of the British and the resultant poverty faced by the Indians. They unveiled the British attempts to convert India as a market for selling British products and a mere center for collecting the raw material for the British industries. They pointed out that life had become a burden when the production and distribution of consumer items like salt came under the control of British government. Dadabhai Nauroji was at the lead in pointing out such discrimination. Through his studies, he publicized the facts on the deterioration of Indian economy under the British rule. His studies were based on empirical data, and he established the fact that a huge amount of money was flowing to Britain every year. He proved that the drain of wealth was the root cause of poverty and starvation in India. His finding, known as the drain theory, is included in his book Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. Question number 3. Doctrine collapse. From ancient times, Indian rulers enjoyed the right of adoption in the absence of natural heir. However, Governor General Lord Dalhousie abolished the practice by bringing into the law doctrine of lapse. Therefore, the kingly countries without legal heirs at law were adjoined British India. Through this policy, Dalhousie captured Satara, Jhansi, Nagpur and Sambalpur and annexed them into British India. Question number 4. Permanent Settlement Act. This act was introduced in Bengal and Bihar by Lord Cornwallis. The Zamindars were made the hereditary owners and they also gave the right to sell their land and purchase land. This act brought into existence a wealthy and privileged class of Zamindars. But this act reduced the actual cultivators of soil to the level of mere tenants. They were deprived of their rights to the soil enjoyed by them for generations and they became entirely under the mercy of Zamindars. Question number 5. Name the tribals who resisted against the British. And these are the groups of tribes. So this is the topic for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions, please put it in the comment box or contact us in our Instagram page.